Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is so exciting. This was the most highly requested product I have ever gotten for my channel, and I will be testing out the Silisponge. So this little strange silicone beauty product is so hyped up right now, you guys, and I had to try it first of all, and second of all, I got really lucky by ordering it. I heard about this and then an hour later they put it back on stock, so I was just like, click, thank you very much. The claims on this little Silisponge is that it's supposed to be more hygienic than the Beauty Blender. You don't have to wet it. And also it is way easier to clean. Along with that, you also aren't supposed to have to apply as much foundation. So all in all, it's not gonna soak in your product, and then you're supposed to also be able to use less. In the long run, you're saving that money, girl. If this works, I will be very amazed. I am very cautiously optimistic about this. I have watched a few other reviews that people have done, and I think that's kind of influencing my opinion a little bit so far, because they were kind of just, you know, like, this is a hyped up product and I don't think that it's worth that. That being said, I definitely have to test this out and see it for myself, because if this works, I will be the happiest little beauty guru around. I thought that the best way to actually see if this works is to do one side of my face with a beauty blender and then the other side of my face with the Silisponge, since they're compared so widely. Let's find out together if this is comparable to the Holy Grail Beauty Blender. I'm going to be starting out with primer because that's only fair with testing out any kind of product like this. I always use a primer, so of course I'm going to go in with my Professional. I'm going to use about a pea-sized amount, maybe even less. You always want to push these sort of primers into your face, then they'll actually do their job. Make sure to let that sink into your skin for just a couple minutes and you'll be good to go. I was very thoughtful about the type of foundation that I wanted to use for this, so I decided to go with my IT Cosmetics CC Cream, and I am in shade Fair. So usually I would probably, I think, use around 2 pumps for my whole face. I'm gonna just go in with 1 pump in case I end up needing extra for half of my face, because I'm a little doubtful that I'm only gonna need a small amount. Once again, I'm gonna be doing the Beauty Blender on this side and the Silisponge on this side, and girl, you know I'm gonna start out with that Silisponge. The directions say to first swipe it around your face, and that's how the initial application is supposed to be, and then I guess to pat it in. And I don't know, it literally says on the website that it takes a second to get used to, so we'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous and I have no idea why. This is just like so out of the norm for something I do, I guess. I'm just gonna go in. Okay, so that's about half of the amount of foundation that I usually put on my face. I'm just kind of gonna swirl it around, I guess, and try to pat it in. Stipple. Stipple is the word. Oh my god, you guys, I think I actually did use a little too much foundation. Okay, my initial reaction to this is that it's very hard to get around like the corners of your nose. Did I really just blow on that when I was talking? It's very hard to get around the corners of your nose and underneath your eye, like it's bunching up underneath my eye, and I totally want to go in with my finger and just blend that out. But yeah, detailed spaces are not this little guy's strong suit. Okay, I think I figured out the motion that's best for this, and instead of just going like that, you want to roll it like that on your face and you get a much better finish. It's so awkward to get around my brows. Ugh. You know those days where you spend way too long on your brows and then you just wipe it off with foundation? Ugh, that scares me. I decided to go in with a second layer just to build up coverage all over my face, and it actually did really great, you guys. The finish was very beautiful. You want to keep in mind that this foundation is meant to be built up, so I'm not sure exactly how it would do with a thicker consistency. Foundation is starting to bunch up on this. I'm just gonna flip it over and see if that helps the situation. Oh, much better, yes. It's just so awkward around the nose area. That's definitely my only issue with this. Is like, it barely blends it out in the nose area just because with the Beauty Blender you can kind of squish it down and get it into the areas that you want it to by morphing it into the shape that it needs to be. As with this, even though it's squishy, it's awkward to try to smush it into your face. That was the initial application, and so far my thoughts are that the finish on my face actually is not that bad. I think that it needs to sink into my skin a little bit, but I'm very optimistic that it will do that. I feel like it will. You definitely do need to use more foundation. I feel like the claim saying that you have to use less is completely false. I was definitely able to make it work around my nose area, but for somebody that wants to do something quick and simple and fast, I think that you're gonna have some issues with that because I really had to work with it, and I do makeup every single day almost. But literally that's the only problem area is the nose, and I think that if I were to just go in and pat it with my finger a little bit like that, because that was driving me nuts, yeah, looks fine. I go in and do the rest of my face with the Beauty Blender, so let's get to blending. That's exactly what I was talking about. Well, I am all done blending both sides and all of my foundation is finished. When I was blending with my Beauty Blender side, I definitely realized that I used more foundation with my Beauty Blender than the Silisponge. So that claim is true. It does stretch your foundation, not by too much, but it does. I did go in and fix my nose area with the Beauty Blender. It straightened its crap right up. I just couldn't stand it, and I already knew that it was gonna be like that. Also on this side, it's starting to sink into my laugh lines, where on this side, it's not doing that hardly as much, given that I haven't set my face yet. You can also definitely see my pores more on this side than on my Beauty Blender side, and I think that it all just comes down to being able to actually press that Beauty Blender into your skin more and really work that product into those problem areas. It just smooths it over, and you know you're gonna have a good result. And especially with a product like a CC cream, you know, it's it's pretty simple and straightforward. I don't think I've ever had my CC cream sit on top of my skin the way it's doing right now. But like I was saying, you never know, it could settle into my skin. Let's see what it does after I apply my full face of makeup, especially after I set it with my powder. Overall right now, I do not think it's a horrible product. I don't want you guys to think that, because you know, in the back of my mind, I just keep thinking about the price point. It's less than half the price the Beauty Blender is, so therefore I think it is a great alternative. I'm gonna go apply the rest of my makeup and we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, so I applied my bronzer, blush, highlight, lipstick, you know the drill, full face of makeup, and my final thoughts on this after applying everything and setting it with a powder, and I think also it just soaking in a little bit, is I actually really like the finish of this. This little thing is not, you know, as bad as some of the reviews I've watched whatsoever. I think that I might grab for this sometimes just for the fact that I don't have to, you know, get up to get it wet, and I don't have to worry about, you know, if I get up to go do something and forget about it, it dries out, I have to do it again, and that it's so easy to wash. I definitely think that it's worth it because of the price difference as well. The only thing that is in the back of my mind is the Real Technique sponge is literally $5. But besides that, this is a really awesome, new, innovative product. So props to the Molly company for being really creative. I love that from an indie brand. You know, possibly when they get their crap together a little more, because no indie brand, I think, can anticipate this much want for a product that's new. So I think that after they are able to stock up and that they've realized what's going on, that this will be, you know, so much easier to get a hold of. I think the hype might die down a little bit about it by then, whereas the Beauty Blender will stay the same. All in all, I really think that this is definitely worth a shot, you guys. It's super fun to use. The finish on my face is really, really flawless. But the only thing is I tried to blend out my concealer with this as well, and that was a big no. That didn't work out at all. I tried to blend it out around my eye area and a little bit on my chin. Oh, it cannot reach in there. It's so awkward. And then also it has, you know, that little edge right there where it's cut. And I think because of that edge, it can't blend. I really wish it was smoothed over right there instead of having that edge. And I also really wish that this was shaped a little bit differently. Even if one end could come to a soft point like the Beauty Blender, I think this would be a really, really good product. If you guys like watching me test out new and weird creative products, give this a big thumbs up to let me know that you guys want to see more of that style videos from me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, you guys, so you can see my new videos as soon as they come out. You can hit that bell button for notifications and it will notify you right when I post a video. I hope everybody has a beautiful, beautiful day. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!